what was the moment you mentioned before that you had a kind of a moment of decision when you were thinking about maybe entering the race, maybe not, knowing what you were going to walk into? You had to think twice, I'm sure, at least 3 times. But what triggered it for you to say, yep, I'm going to try to go for it?
You know, for me, John, there was a day that really formed it. I think like most of the folks in the state, my migration away from Senator Dodd occurred gradually. But like many folks in this state, there was a day which we all remember. For me, it started off going to get my hair cut that morning in Hartford, the barber that I've gone to for about 25 years, and listening to him speak about the challenges of his business and his customers and tell me what he thought. And then, unannounced, I drove to swing by my mom's house and see my mom. My mom is older and can struggle to get around some days. And when I went into that house where I had grown up my whole life, she was sitting in the kitchen, and in her hand she had a retirement account. And she was there at that old wooden table, and her hands are the hands of somebody who has not had an easy life.
Right.
And she had that retirement account, and she looked up and looked at me and said, half of everything I've ever worked for is gone. And that had a huge impact. That for me was a defining moment, because now it was very personal. I had seen the suffering of others. I had talked with others about this. I had seen the coming storm. But to be there with someone who had put so much into your life and sacrificed so much and is so representative of the good people of this state, that had a huge impact on me. So I drove home, and that night, Alex and I, at the time we had 2 children, and we teach them what every parent teaches their kids, to tell the truth and do the right thing and take responsibility. And we tucked them into bed after we read to them the way that we do. And then Alex and I went into our room, and we turned the TV on to watch a few minutes of the news. And in any couple's relationship, that's pretty personal, pretty private time. Turn the news on, and there in our bedroom, playing itself out a few feet from our feet, was the AIG bonus scam, and an individual who, over the years, I think has lost touch with where he's from and the people he's from. And I can't begin to say how disturbed I was to watch that. Someone who, to be blunt, was not telling the truth. And I stood up out of bed and said to my wife, enough. I don't need to see this anymore. I don't need to watch this. I've seen enough people harmed by this nonsense. This country is on the wrong track, and I think we can do much better. And so in the weeks that followed, I began to put together the necessary arrangements to step in and run for the United States Senate.